Hi everybody, and today I'm going to tell you about a fun Read-a-Thon program that we are going to be having here at the library during the month of September. It is called the Reach for the Stars program, and it's through Usborne Books. So the goal of this program is to have everybody that participates read between 20 and 30 minutes a day for 2 weeks. So the program is going to start on Monday, September 14th, and it is going to run through Sunday, September 27th, and that'll be 14 days total. So the goal is to have you read between 20 and 30 minutes 5 days a week for those 2 weeks. You could read up to 420 minutes if you read it the maximum for that whole period. You could read up to 420 minutes, so that is a lot of time. This program is also going to be a fundraiser for the library. So September is called Love Your Library Month. It's also Library Card Sign-Up Month. September and libraries is a pretty big deal. So during Love Your Library Month, we do a lot of other cool things. Like we have yard signs that this year you can put a donation, get a yard sign. Normally we have our book sale. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to have that this year, but we are going to be selling book bundle bags with kids' books. We normally have pins and bookmarks, and all the staff get shirts that say Love Your Library. So it's a pretty big deal, and it's pretty exciting, and it's a fundraising effort. So we're having this program during Love Your Library Month because up to a certain amount of money that the library raises in September, there is a grant program that they will match up to a certain amount of money what we earn in donations during the month of September. So this fundraiser for us, for the children's program, the Reach for the Stars Usborne program, we get money. We'll talk a little bit in a couple minutes about how this program raises money. But the money that comes in through this program, half of it goes to buy books from Usborne that goes back to any of you that participate, and the other half buys books for the library from Usborne. So that's how it is a fundraiser program for us. We are having this program for a couple of reasons. One, because it's Love Your Library Month and we want to do something fun and we want to do a fundraiser. But also because this program helps children and families develop a reading routine. So it is proven by educational specialists that reading an average of 30 minutes per day helps build language and learning skills for all ages. So by doing this, instead of it being a chore, like you might sometimes have to read for school and it's a chore and it's not fun, this is supposed to be fun. You can read whatever you want. You can read any genre, any kind of book by any author, easy readers, picture books, juvenile fiction, young adult fiction, magazines, activity books, whatever you want to read. As long as you are reading about 30 minutes a day, that can help you learn in the long run. And that's what we want to do with this program. Anybody can participate that wants to earn Usborne books. So birth to 18, there's not quite so many books for the older you get, like 16, 17, 18-year-olds. But if you like Usborne books, I know I still like Usborne books. If you do, you are more than welcome to join and read and be a part of this. If you can read on your own, you can join. If you can't read on your own yet, you can do family reading, kind of like we did for summer reading. You don't have to be an independent reader to participate. You can either read yourself or be read to. And families with children of different reading levels, you can use both methods. Maybe some of the older kids in your family can read to themselves, and then they can also read to a sibling. Or the ones that can read to themselves, they read a little bit on their own, and then at night you have a family story time where mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunts, uncles, any kind of caregivers maybe read a story to all the kids at night. It's totally up to you, and it's totally flexible about how you want to do the reading. When you participate, if you come to library virtual story time, if you are in school and your teacher is reading a book to you, if you have assigned reading for school that you have to do, if you have books on your to-read shelf at home that you just haven't gotten to read yet, if you have books that you want to take out from the library to read, there's plenty of options and plenty of ways that you can do this. So if any of that sounds exciting to you, I will tell you a little bit how the program works and then how you can participate. Now, don't mind me. I wrote this all down this morning, and I'm going to be looking down and referring to my notes to make sure I don't get anything wrong. So, assuming you sign up, and I will tell you at the end how you can sign up if you want to, you're going to receive a booklet from Usborne where you can track your daily reading and set your goal. So you need to set a goal that's attainable for you or for your family. If reading 30 minutes per day over all 14 days isn't going to work for you because you have sports or mom and dad have school or work or you have to go to grandma's house or you're going to be with a babysitter or you're only allowed so much time to do screen time a day and you have to read on a Kindle or whatever the case may be. So set a goal that works for you. Don't say you're going to read 30 minutes for 14 days if you don't think that works for you. You can always set something lower. And if you're really into it and you want to say, I can read 60 minutes a day for 14 days, then more power to you. It is totally up to you how you set your goal. In order for everybody to benefit, the library and everybody that participates, you have to collect pledges from family and friends. And what that means is somebody in your family that has money or makes money, that could be parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, older siblings, family, friends, neighbors, teachers, anybody, not librarians. I can't sponsor all of you, I'm sorry. But you want to get those people to pledge money for your goal. So there's a couple of ways that you can get people to pledge money. Of course, you have to ask them. So you might want to call them up on the phone. You might want to FaceTime them. You might want to send them an email. If it's somebody that lives in your house, you might want to talk to them in person. If it's a relative that you are still seeing even throughout COVID, you might want to go to their house and talk to them. But you want to talk to them probably in person somehow. So then when you go to talk to them, you tell them what you're doing and why you're doing it. And then you ask them, would you like to pledge money or would you like to sponsor me to do this program? There's a couple ways that they can do this, and it can be up to you and the individual person that's going to pledge how you want to have them give you money. So they could give you a flat rate. And a flat rate means, let's say you go and you ask your aunt to give you money for this program, and she says, I'm going to give you $15. I'm going to give you $15 whether you read 30 minutes or 300 minutes. I am going to give you $15 whether you only read for one day or you do all 14 days. A flat rate means somebody is going to give you this amount of money that they tell you, and it's not going to change no matter what you do. So that is one way you could ask for pledges. You could ask for a flat rate, ask people to donate any amount of money that they feel comfortable donating, and that is what they'll give you when the program is over. You could also ask people to give you money based on the number of days that you read throughout the program. So if there are 14 days in the program, you might go and ask your grandpap, will you give me money for every day that I read? And he says, okay, I'll give you $1 for every day that you read. So if you would read 10 days out of the 14 days, whether you read for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or beyond, we're only counting days. So if you read for 10 out of the 14 days, Grandpa's going to give you $10 at the end of the program because you read for 10 out of 14 available days. You can also do it by how many minutes you read. Since we're trying to get you to read 30 minutes, you could ask people to pledge money for every 30 minutes that you read. So maybe you'll go to your next door neighbor and say, will you give me money for every 30 minutes that I read? And your neighbor says, sure, I'll do that. I'll give you $1 for every 30 minutes that you read. If you read 300 minutes over 2 weeks, over 14 days, she would give you $10 at the end of the program. You could also ask people to give you money for each individual minute that you read. So instead of doing it in 30-minute chunks, you could do it by the exact minute. So you could go to your teacher maybe and say, will you give me money for every minute that I read during this challenge? Your teacher says, sure, I'll give you a dime. I'll give you 10 cents for every minute that you read over the next 14 days. If you read 300 minutes over those 2 weeks, your teacher would have to pay you $30. But remember, that money doesn't go to you. That money comes to the library, and then it goes to Usborne, and we buy books for you and books for us with that money. Another way that you could do this is you could ask people to pay you if you reach your goal. So remember I told you that you could set your goal, whatever you wanted to be, if you thought maybe you could read 30 minutes over 10 days, or if you thought you could read 15 minutes over 2 days, or whatever it may be. You could ask people to give you money if you reach your goal. So maybe you go home and you ask mom and dad and you say, Mom and Dad, will you give me money for this if I reach my goal? And Dad says, sure, if you read 30 minutes a day for 10 days, because that's your goal, I'll give you $20. So if you do it and you follow through, Dad will give you $20. If you don't do it and you don't follow through, you get nothing at all. So those are some of the ways that you can ask people for pledges. It's up to you and the person that wants to donate. You can give them all the options. You can pick one that you like best and try to ask people to do it that way. It's flexible. It's up to you. At the end of the program, so the last day for the program is Sunday, September 27th. And then at the end of the program, so September 28th, 29th, and 30th, you can turn your booklets and pledge money in at the library through curbside. So you can come like you've been doing for curbside, call us and say, I'm here to turn in my Usborne Reach for the Stars stuff. Or perhaps even if I can find a box, we'll put a box in the lobby. You can just drop your stuff in. Haven't decided that yet, but those would be your options. And then from there, we'll count all the money, send it to our Usborne representative who gets the books for us and helped us plan all of this and do all of this. And then we will determine who receives prizes for participating. So, prizes, that's always everybody's favorite word. So what do you get for participating? Anyone who reads at least 30 minutes over the course of the program and gets at least one pledge will be eligible to receive a book from Usborne. So we want you to try to read 30 minutes a day over 2 weeks, but if you can just read 30 minutes at all over the whole program and get at least one pledge, you will be eligible to get a book. The reason you have to participate a little bit and at least have one pledge is because the pledge money is what is going to go to pay for the books that you're going to get and the books that we're going to get. So if we have 50 people that participate, but nobody raises any money, we can't get any books. We can't get any books for anybody. So that's why those requirements are on there. We're also going to have additional prizes for the person who collects the most pledge money and the participant or participants who read the most minutes. So the most minutes might be 450 minutes and 3 people might read that. So we could have more than one person that gets the max number of minutes. Like I said before, your reading and pledges benefit the library and you. 50% of the money raised is going to go to buy books for all of you that participate, and the other 50% is going to go to buy Usborne books for our library shelves. So you will get books to take home with you, to read and keep at your house forever, and then we will also have books here that you can check out whenever you feel like it. So now that you know all of that information, this is how you will participate and sign up. We're going to have an online sign-up form that should be linked somewhere to go along with this video that you can sign up ahead of time, and then you'll be contacted when you can receive your booklet. So if you sign up online, we're going to need the child's name, age, and whether they can read on their own or they're a family reader. We will also need a parent's name, an email address, and phone number. And to tell us if you would like to pick up your booklet on curbside when they're available, or if you would like it mailed to your house. And if you do want it mailed to your house, we need a street address so that we know where to send it. This is pretty similar to the way that we signed up for summer reading. The only difference is that you are definitely getting a paper tracker and that is what you will use to track your reading. And there's no logging anything online. It's all in this tracker booklet. So the sign up is really more just so we know how many booklets we need to have, and that they can be ready for you to come pick up the day before or the day that this starts. If you cannot sign up online, if you're seeing this video but you have no way to go online and sign up, I'm going to try to spend a couple of afternoons, maybe an hour or so or 2 hours or so at a time, sitting outside the library to sign people up, probably after school hours. This is definitely obviously going to be contingent on the weather, because if it's pouring or if it's dangerous or if it's really, really, really hot, I will probably spend less time, if any time at all, outside. I would like to give us, the option to sign up where you don't need to use the computer, but we are at the mercy of the weather since you can't just come into the library. So that's how you participate, and then you just set your goal. You read your books, and remember, like I said, coming to library story time or junior book club or reading for school or reading to your siblings or having a parent read to you or a grandparent or whoever, or doing story time at daycare, or any reading counts towards this program. So you could do 2 library story times over that period, because there'll be 2 Thursdays, and that will probably count for about 20 minutes. So you never know. As far as getting your pledge money, you will need to either get it in cash or checks. And I will tell you, in the information where you have the checks made out to. In your booklets, you will get a flyer that has some of the Usborne books that you can get from this program in there. And there will also be a website link so you can look at what they have available. And while we will try to get you the book that you want the most on your wish list for participating, it all comes down to how much money we raise and what we can purchase. If you want a $35 book, but we really only raised like $50 and 5 kids participated, we can't get you a $35 book. That wouldn't be fair. But if we have 10 kids participate and we make like $500, then of course you could probably get whatever book you wanted the most. But purchasing the books for you and for us is all determined by how much money we raise. So we cannot guarantee that you will get the exact book that you want, even though we will try. And I already talked about Love Your Library Month. So that is everything. This is also going to go out as an email to all the parents. This is going to be in the Facebook discussion. So if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. And if I can't answer them, I can put you in touch with Kylie, who is our Usborne representative. But we do hope that you will join. You will bring people in to help you with this, get pledges, help yourself, help the library, and have fun while you're doing it. Remember, September is Love Your Library Month. We love getting to see you all the time and even communicating with you virtually during this time. So we hope that you will come love your library as well and do this with us. Have a great day.